What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to make a video. I was going to say quick video, but it'll probably be a long video talking about just life, knife collecting from my perspective in general, and where I can see, I guess, where my collection is at, where I'm at with collecting knives, how my hobbies are changing, and I guess just kind of a general life update. So yeah, getting right into it. I mean, you're looking at it. This is the majority of what I carry. This is not all the knives I have, um, but this is the EDC rotation, as they say. This is what is rotating in and out of my pocket. And there's one off screen, which is the MSI. Again, you will probably figure out what you like, and kind of focus on that. Some people focus on Chris Reeves, some people focus on Strider, some people focus on Spyderco, Microtech, Emerson, Benchmade, whatever it might be. People seem to find their niche, and then they kind of stick with it. I have been very fortunate, or I guess financially unfortunate, with the fact that I have long been collecting knives for over a decade, and have quite enjoyed, trying new things, and figuring out what I do and don't like. And I guess, again, for better or for worse, I kind of come back to the same trifecta that, has been around for decades, which, again, the trifecta being, Chris Reed, Strider, and Hinder. I don't have any Hinders out here. I'm probably going to trade this one for a Project X. I probably carry Hinders the least. I do have an XM 18 3.5 inch, but again, it doesn't see that much pocket time. I kind of have it because, again, it's one of the older ones. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's not really worth much. I think it's like a Gen 3 XM18. It was like right after, and again, this is for the old heads out there. Again, like Hinders used to be like $1,000. Back in the Tough Thumbs era, they would be $1,000. You had to win a lottery at Blade Show, and they were just really hard to get. It wasn't as easy on Facebook and Instagram to find them. You kind of had to look on YouTube or know somebody, be part of the forums, which I was not. So it was really hard for me to get them, and they weren't obviously available on websites. So it wasn't until like that Gen 3 when they were available at most knife retailers online, at the $300 to whatever $500 price range, where I was able to finally get one. And obviously that was a while ago. It was like one of the first, it was one of those first expensive few. So I'm going to keep that, but I don't carry it that much. But let's talk about these knives that are in front of us. So I guess before we get into that, just a bit of a life update. I haven't been making videos as frequently as I was in the past. And again, videos from me will probably be pretty sporadic going forward. For those of you who have been following me, thank you so much. For a while, would have known that, previously I was living up in Canada. Now I'm down in the US. And that has obviously affected my knife collecting, and my ability to access knives more quickly. It has also allowed me to find other hobbies, such as pew-pews. It's allowed me to venture into that, but it's also, put a hold on spending money here. And also just, with moving to a new place and, starting a new chapter in my life, it's just been very busy. And like I said, it will continue to be busy as I am, doing different things in the background, in my personal life, when I'm not just collecting knives and guns. I said the word that YouTube doesn't like. So hopefully I'll still be able to create this content on YouTube, as well as some gun content, as those are my hobbies right now. So I wanted to talk about, and again, talking about the knives now. Thank you for sticking around for 5 minutes, not talking about knives. So that's kind of an update on me. there's more knife content coming. It's going to be, you know, far and few between, especially after you hear kind of how I found my class of knives that I like to stick to, as well as just that I'm going to be busy and I have other hobbies which I might not be able to put on YouTube as frequently as knife content and knife videos like this. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, you know, finding my class of EDC knives, and specifically this. Again, I've been very fortunate to try a lot of different things and have expensive knives in my collection. And I know some people think this is ridiculously expensive, and other people think this is, you know, cheap stuff, $300, not even, because it's used now. So, you know, whatever, $150. These should have been $100. Yeah, but they're not anymore. Yeah, so talking about these and talking about, you know, my knife collection, I've really scaled down a lot. Why have I scaled down my knife collection? I got engaged recently, so I had to buy an engagement ring, and obviously a lot of money tied up in this is no bueno. And like I said, I've also been getting into pew-pews, and those are very expensive. Those, and ammunition is expensive. You know, gun club memberships are expensive. Everything in between targets, you know what it is. It's everything that goes with it is expensive, and has taken up my time and money. So I've had to dwindle down the pack. But I'm actually quite happy with that, because I have really found my core of what I like and what I actually carry. So I still do have more. Like I said, this is not the full collection. I have, like, you know, my first knives, that Hinder I was talking about. I have a bunch of other knives that are primarily stuff that is either sentimental, that I would never sell, and don't really carry, or stuff that is just, you know, not worth anything. It's not worth my time to even think about, like, you know, Kershaw Skyline. You know, my first knife was a Mannix 2 from Spyderco with CPM. It's 154 CM. So there's stuff like that that are just old knives, like a Delica 4 that's got rust all over it, stuff like that, that is just like, what's the point? I'll just throw it in the tackle box whenever I need a knife, or throw it in the range bag, stuff like that. So there's lots of knives floating around, but this is the core of what I carry. So yeah, getting right into it. Again, one of my very first expensive knives was the Sebenza 21, and it took me a very long time. You can see this has been carried quite a bit, but it did take me quite a long time to warm up to the Sebenzas. Yeah, S35VN titanium plain Jane, been carried heck a lot. Got a cool bead on it from what's his face, Mr. Machine Guy or something like that. Yeah, so this one I don't really carry anymore, just because I have a 31 and this is a 21, and I want to have it around for a while. I don't want anything to really happen to it, but it is something I still do carry. That's why it is here. It's more of like a birthday carry, special occasion, you know, engagement, other things that are happening. This is kind of like my good luck knife. It's been with me such a long time. It was that first really expensive knife. So it's one that is usually with me whenever I'm doing something special or have something important going on in my life. So really love this knife, and it does still get carried. That is why it is here. I will put it aside. I'll leave it out here just so you can look at it. Talking about Chris Reeves, the 31. So this I picked up in December of last year. So I've had it for, you know, probably 6 months now. If I can do my math right. Yeah, it's June, dummy. Yeah, I've had it for about 6 months now. I really do love it. Chris Reeve has still got it. I was kind of ticked off at how expensive this is. I mean, it's just a plain Jane. It is polished blade. Wow, so polished, so you can get nice fingerprints all over it. But I wanted the polished blade because I reminisce over the high polished stonewash of the 21, which definitely I've had. Again, hopefully I have videos on my YouTube of my old Chris Reeves. But you will notice in the new Chris Reeves that Stonewash is quite dull, more of a working finish, like Hinder has the working finish, but I wanted the high polished, and I also did appreciate the what used to be high polish hardware on the 21. Excuse me. So how do I achieve that? I get the high polish blade, and I think it has the added benefit of being hand ground, I think, don't quote me on that, which is cool, but again, expensive. This one is in MagnaCut, has been carried quite a bit lately. Yeah, I really like it. It really broke in nicely. Definitely not as smooth as the 21. I don't think anything will ever be as smooth as my 21. But it has really, really broken in nicely. Took a little while. Yeah, sorry, let me also state, I wanted the, single thumb stud. I basically just wanted this knife again. I wanted the 21. I had this for so long. I was like, okay, time to retire this and get a new one. And then I realized Chris Reeve doesn't make a 21 anymore. And then I also realized that it's hard to find any Chris Reeves, especially like a plain Jane large Sebenza. Who would have thought? Not me, but it took quite a long time to actually find just a basic Sebenza like this in MagnaCut, because why not? With a single thumb stud with the polished blade, plain Jane. It took a while to find, and it wasn't cheap. It was not cheap, but happy to have it. It's super smooth. I carry it quite a bit and have carried it for probably I would say it's been split. It's probably been 3 months. I probably carried this about 3 months, every single day. Yeah, pretty awesome. Awesome sauce. Carried this probably about 1.5 months, I'm gonna say. Strider SMF H2G2 with the aluminum handles. Big boy, very heavy. CTS XHP with the Tiger Strike 3/4 grind. I carried this a lot last summer when I was moving to the US. This was like my moving knife. I met it halfway. I ordered it probably 6 months before I picked it up. So it was just sitting waiting for me at the halfway stop, moving across America. And I was able to pick this up, and this was kind of the road trip knife, truck knife that saw me move across the US. And it really is not a good summer knife because of how big it is, but it is my dedicated summer knife. So this is what I have been carrying, but it will not be what I'm carrying because I just got that in the mail, and that's pretty cool. But this is something that I will never get rid of. That is why I've just obliterated these handles. That is why I've butchered the edge, is because this is a user. I don't want to sell it. I don't want myself to trick myself into saying that I will sell it because it is too smooth and it is too awesome and it is now sentimental. So that is why this is one of my regular EDCs, especially when it gets hot out. It's the perfect smooth couch flicker, and it is just awesome. So that is one of the faves. So into Strider. So I said this, whereas 31 I've been carrying, probably 3 months. This I've probably been carrying, probably 2 months or 1.5 months. This I've been carrying probably the other half, the other 1.5, other 1 month or whatever it would be. This is a Strider SNG with the single side CC gunner grip. I know their naming convention is going to change a lot, I'm sure. In MagnaCut, just, I don't know why. Probably I got it just because I've been looking for a black G10 SNG, black G10 SMF as well. I'm hoping with the new releases from Strider that they will just have a CC version, because I would definitely buy a CC black SMF. But this has been awesome. I've been carrying this a lot. The Magna Cut is awesome on it. Again, 3/4 grind, tiger stripe, just like this one, just like that one. Striders have been really what I've been carrying most of the year so far. And they are what I'm into right now. So that is why they are in the collection in the most numbers. But yeah, I really like Striders. Always have. I used to have a Z-Wear, and you can probably find a video on my YouTube channel. One of the OGs, Z-Wear Crazy Old Steel. Just worth too much. It was, one of those first early knives when I got a trifecta of, the Hinder, the Strider, and the Chris Reeve. Moved it on because, people wanted more than I really wanted it. I didn't carry it. Carry this, never carried that S&G. And, like I said, it was worth more to others. And I was able to use that money for other things, like I mentioned. So, yeah, have been carrying these three quite a bit. These are pretty much everything I've been carrying. I would say the only other two, like I said, special occasions, this I'm carrying, all the time. This I'm carrying probably more. And this I was carrying quite a bit consistently for like at least 3 months. This was like everything that I was carrying for a while. I would say the other two that I really rotate in, other than these three, have been these two. I really like the Borka Blades stitch. I have really held myself off from buying more of these. This is one of the older ones with the, one of the original releases with the kind of traditional stitch clip, the bigger ram lock. Yeah, and the smooth black G10, which again, Strider, if you're listening, I want the, CC'd black G10 on these guys. That's really what I want. I guess that's what I'm into. And that's what this whole video is about, is I'm figuring out what I like, and when it pops up, that's what I'm buying. And yeah, so I would say I carry this ever so often, usually when I want something pokey and I'm just kind of, feeling something different. We are knife people at the end of the day, which means, we don't want to carry the same thing every day, but, most days we do. I would say, yeah, the other one is Emerson. I really do like Emerson. I know a lot of people don't really talk about them on YouTube, especially when you're in this class of knife. Wow, you're so cool. But I would say, yeah, I really like Emerson. This one is really cool, the EX100 CPM 154 with, more of a V grind than Emerson, typically does. Yeah, I really like it. It's got, some A100 vibes here. It's got some, CQC7 vibes here. It's got the cool Bowie there. Again, CQC7 handle with kind of the A100 here. Yeah, I think this one was really cool. It just, silver hardware. It just was a really nice one. I was glad to pick it up. Yeah, I definitely do carry this one. It got a bit gunky and I should clean it, so I haven't carried it because, see, like that, it is a bit gunky. Again, just needs to be cleaned. It was buttery smooth until I don't know what I was cutting with it. And it got all gooey and gunky inside, but definitely love this one and definitely would never sell this one. This is definitely, again, still in the EDC rotation. I definitely want to get more Emersons because, again, if you're looking to get into knives, these are expensive. These are hard to find. These are getting more easily findable, and these have always been around. You can definitely find them. But Emerson always has cool, unique designs. You can really kind of find one that fits you. For the most part, I would still stick to either, a CQC7, A100, Commander, stuff like that. But I really do like them, especially if you're just getting into knives. It is a great gateway, and their liner lock with a titanium lock, they're just cool. and they work as a knife, which is, what a knife is for, right? And they don't break the bank as much, but they are still expensive. But I think you get what you pay for. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Newest addition to the knife collection. Before we get into that, I'm going to make you wait. Let's just talk about this. Paramilitary 2, really old one. It's not 15V, it is S35V. And again, I've been around collecting knives for too long, and this one was one of the first sprint runs when Spyderco started doing those sprint runs for the PM2. Like, this, I think, was maybe the first sprint run for the Paramilitary 2. I was a big fan of the Paramilitary 2. I had, again, like I said, maybe in another video, but again, the Paramilitary 2 is one of my first knives. I was watching a Cajun Blaze video, probably a Nut and Fancy video, cutlery lover videos, and I really was like, okay, cool. I had a military, way too big. I was like, so this has to be the right one, and it was. And I would say a Paramilitary 2 was probably my most EDC knife in my life. Most consecutive days of my life, I probably carried a Paramilitary 2. It was just what I carried when I was first getting into knives. When I first bought my Paramilitary 2 in S30V, it was $100. I think I got it like $99, $99.99 at Blade HQ. And that was awesome, $100 for a USA-made blade, S30V steel. I literally destroyed the knife. I used it as like a shovel, broke the tip off, ruined the edge, and then, bought this one instead, and then that was kind of after that. But very dependable knife. We'll never sell this one just because, again, no one probably wants it, but also that it is just, something I've had forever, and if I get rid of it, I need a new Paramilitary 2. And I mean, I had the 15V Spyderco, which was cooler because it was really nice stone wash and just super polished and super smooth. But again, I needed money for other hobbies, and that one is worth more money than an S35VN brown Paramilitary 2. Cool. So yeah, generally that is the knife collection. This is what I am carrying. There are no real surprises outside of this. I'm carrying the Chris Reeve often. I'm carrying one of these two Striders often. I'm occasionally carrying the Emerson or the Stitch, sometimes carrying this 21 on special occasions. And the Paramilitary 2 is just, I would say, typically not carrying it outside. It's typically like, I'm going to do a task, and this is the best tool for that task, be it breaking down boxes or just, doing something that maybe I don't want to use these knives for, but probably sees the least amount of use, but has seen a lot of use in its life. So yeah, that is the collection. Thank you for waiting. Elephant in the room, newest acquisition. Don't really need another SNG, and probably going to try to sell this one, but nobody wants it, so more knives, I guess. Newest acquisition just because it came out, and consumerism. But no, in all seriousness, I've always wanted a double gunner grip. I hate myself. I don't. I'm angry at myself for not buying double gunner grips and CC SNGs when I could have, when they were in stock 10 years ago, when I was looking at them, and then I didn't buy them because I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll buy just the regular Lego versions. I don't know why I did that, but I thought the Lego ones were cooler, and now I'm like, dang, man, it would have been cool to have something like this. Anyways, I never had the chance to own a double gunner grip, and Strider has just released this, and will, I'm sure, release more double gunner grips and more CC concealed carry, the rounded versions of the handles in the future. So yeah, I was very fortunate to get on this drop. I had been eyeballing it from Blade Show 2024. So when I saw them post it on their Instagram, I was like, oh yeah, we are going to try to get it. And I was very fortunate to get it. And it is in MagnaCut, which I like because why not? The Blade Show ones I think were CPM 20CV, which I'm not the biggest fan of, and probably would not have pulled the trigger on. I'm not the biggest fan of the performance hardware, but again, I just wanted to try the double gunner grip to see if it was my thing. Don't know if it's my thing yet. This one's really good. This one is brand new, and it is definitely smoother than this one, and I carry this one a lot. This one has a little bit of lock stick sometimes. But yeah, I think this one honestly looks cooler to me, and people are going to hate me in the comments. I like, let me preface this. I love Striders, period. I like them with the old hardware. I like them with the 3/4 grind, Tiger Stripe blade, and black G10. That's my thing with this big old backspacer one piece. That's what I like. So sorry, hate me. You probably want this and I have it. I'm sorry, but this is just the way it goes, and I'm glad I get to try it out. And I have a perfect example here. So this is the best shot of me actually liking a double gunner grip. But that's the knife collection. Like I said, I've really kind of settled into this due to other hobbies and life expenses. And that's why you might not see as many videos from me, because there's a lot going on in life, but also that these are just kind of really satisfying my needs and wants in the knife department lately. I've had this for a very long time. I can still use it. I just bought a new one 6 months ago. It's going to last me a long time. Don't really need a new knife unless I find something like this that pops up that I'm like, all right, let's give it a whirl and, you know, see if we should replace something. I will always have a Chris Reeve Sebenza in my collection. I will always have an S&G or an SMF. I will always have a paramilitary. I guess the newest addition to the trifecta would be this. Hoping to, you know, try Project X, and maybe I'll trade it for that. And we'll always have an Emerson in the collection. So that's kind of my status of knife collecting. I'm hoping to make some new YouTube videos on my other hobbies, particularly guns. So hoping to do that soon, even with the new YouTube restrictions on the no area of Pew Pew. But yeah, this is the knife collection. Thank you to everyone who has watched this entire video. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. The knife community is the best, and all of you are the best. And I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this content. If there's things you want me to talk about, please tell me. You know, I'm a boring guy. I don't really know what you guys want me to hear or talk about. Like, do you want me to compare any of these knives? Do you want me to talk about, you know, specifics of these knives? But you know, throw me a bone. If there's something you want me to talk about, I'll talk about it. Leave a comment. I'll do my best to make a video about it, and maybe explain why I've gone down this certain road, why I've, you know, sold off certain things, why I have kind of gravitated to this. Like I said, it's already a 30-minute video, so I'm not really going to go into, you know, why do I like a 3/4 grind? Well, I like the hollow grind. I like the thickness. But again, I can tell you why if you're so interested. I can tell you why. Like, what do I use the knives for in my daily EDC? And how do these play into my EDC rotation? Like, what am I carrying? Where am I, you know, working? What am I wearing? That sort of thing. So happy to provide more context if that's something people want to see. But thanks again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great summer and a great rest of the day. Thanks so much. Bye now.